This is OutRage!
OutRage is a 32-player beat-em-up brawler where you use punches, kicks, throws and weapons, and even the destructible levels around you to fight each other in free-for-all, battle royale or team-based game modes. It feels like a party game with cartoon violence, but it's competitive and in a really fun way.
Rage up! Kick more ass!
My name is Jason Avent, and I'm the studio head for Hardball Games Limited.
Anyone call a cab?
OutRage is based around an underground fighting competition. That's a sort of breakout success where a wellness product with raging, unseen side effects supercharges the action that makes contenders invincible. Everybody can get involved, why not, right? And it's a bit like Adam West's Batman, when you hit people you get the diff bosh. It also kind of makes it more like a fighting party game. You know, it's not super serious, it's a bit of fun, but if you stick with it, there's quite a lot of depth of mastery. So I think we were inspired by old school games like Power Stone and Streets of Rage, but also Fall Guys took the Battle Royale formula and blended obby gaming to it, to bring a platform game to a Battle Royale. So we thought, well, why couldn't we do that for fighting games? You know, we could start with a Battle Royale game mode, see if that brings people in, see if players are interested in it, and then we could use the core mechanics for other different game modes. And we started looking into large teams, and that becomes quite fun, where you're all working together like Phil the Warriors. Our complexity comes from having lots of players in a relatively tight space. So it's more about learning when to go into battle and pile into a fight, or when it's best to hang back and maybe look for a weapon or go and get some health, or perhaps use the destructible environments against your enemies by picking them up and throwing off ledges, or throwing them into scaffolding so that the ceiling falls down on top of them.
Now you have your friends! Punch them! Kick them!
We've done 5 different game modes, so we've got some quite traditional ones, like Domination, where you capture an area as part of a team and then people try and take that area off you. But because we've got so many players, and because the combat is all melee, it makes designing game modes quite difficult. So we had this issue where we brought in some of the traditional game modes like Capture the Flag, and it was like watching a load of preschoolers play football, where they all just ran after the ball at the same time. Everybody would clump around the flag. So we have to design things that fit with the core game mechanics and the fact that you've got very large teams or lots of players. So that's sort of driven quite a bit of novelty in the game. So for example, one of the core game mechanics is that you do damage to earn rage. So you rage up and get bigger, and then you could throw bigger things, throw things further. And with the destructible environments, you could throw people through walls, uproot trees, and throw cars at each other. So in terms of long-term play and the character development, rather than having different characters like you have in a game like Overwatch, because there's so many players, it's quite difficult to then read which character is which and be able to anticipate what's going to happen. It could be very chaotic. So instead, we've come up with a talent system where you collect talents over the career of the game and improve them. You've got 3 slots for 4 different talent types, and then there are lots of different varieties of talents, and you can equip up to 3 at a time. And then across the 4 classes are offense, defense, agility, and rage. And so you have to make a compromise. You could go all out offense, but if you do, you have lower health and lower armor. So you can sort of steer your character in a certain direction, and over time you'll have more strategic depth and breadth to call upon. So that's one way that you're going to progress in the game. And then I think we'll have a sort of seasons-based structure, so we'll continue to support and evolve the game with new game modes, new ways to play, new characters, and new talents, and new weapons. So it's a long-term commitment. We can kind of do whatever we feel is right as an independently funded studio. So we can make silly, fun stuff that doesn't follow rules if we want to. We don't answer to execs anymore. We only answer to our players. I think there are lots of large self-organised groups on the internet around first-person shooters like Fortnite and maybe MMOs, where they're looking for something different. Maybe on a weekend they might kind of be bored with their game that they currently play. And this game offers the opportunity to bring quite large groups of people seamlessly into the game, play together or against one another. And it's something that's very different. It's not a heavy lift to get started. Our controls are intentionally simple, and each session's over in a few minutes. It's not like having to play 45 minutes of League of Legends or even 20 minutes of Fortnite hiding in a bush until the action ensues. You're thrown into an environment with 32 other people. It's a very different game than anything that's out there at the moment. And I think if you are playing a Fortnite or a Fall Guys or even Gang Beasts, and maybe you want something that's different and bigger, something you can bring lots of your friends to, then I think OutRage delivers. Initially, we're launching on PC. We're going to be in early access. I can't say exactly when that's going to be yet. I think we're still very much in development. And because the game is designed around just a stick and 4 buttons, it will work on mobile, it will work on console. So that's on our roadmap.